Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning. So glad to see you here today. I'm seeing the names of my people: Stephanie, Doris, Nancy, Joyce. I haven't seen your name in a long time. How are you? Glory. MC Supatemi. Hi, how are you? The network just threw me off like that. So I'm trying to make sure I have another network setup standing by. Thank you all for coming in this morning. How are you? Where are you? Blessing. It's such a delight, such a privilege to have you here, Florence. Wow. Wiser spirit is in the air. I believe that by today we'd have the wiser flyers out. Our speakers had confirmed a while ago. We just had been showcasing different things, and now we would showcase our speakers, and we are ready for wiser. For many of us here, I think for most of us here, it was wiser that brought us together, and wiser keeps us together. And by God's grace, we are growing together, and we are so grateful. So this year we've been speaking about different topics from the book that has blessed my life so much, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. We've gone through them one after the other. If you've missed anyone, I would ask that you catch up on the YouTube channel. Just go to Winning Your Year. If you go to my YouTube channel, in fact, we'll send the link out again to our broadcast list. And if you're not on our broadcast list, then call this number. Nancy, please punch in the chats the phone number for people to reach out to so that they can join our broadcast list. They can join one of the WhatsApp groups. 0802 something. Please put it in the chat. So those who are not there, though I believe almost everybody here is in one of our groups or the other, one of our broadcast lists. Yes, it was wiser and titanium. That's it. So we've been talking about those topics. So in thinking about what to discuss, I decided to search myself where I am now and share what tool I'm using to win my 2022. 2022 has just 2 months to go. November starts tomorrow, and then it's December. And I checked what I've been doing in the past few days, and I said, you know what? Let's share this. Just give me a moment. I want to switch my internet connection. Just give me a moment. Let me switch my internet connection to one that I believe is stronger. Okay, I think this is much stronger now. Yeah. So I was searching myself in the last 1 week, number of days. What am I doing to help myself this end of the year to win? There are a few things I had set out to win. Some I could say beyond my control, but what about those that are within my control? And it's this same 3-letter word that keeps punching us in the face from time to time, and that is ask. A-S-K, ask. The book of Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, one of the most powerful scriptures ever, says, ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. 100% of the doors that are closed to us are the doors we don't knock. You will have closed doors 100% of the times that you don't knock. You will not get the answers you seek 100% of the time that you don't ask. And you will not find 100% of the times that you don't seek. So we're just going to stick with ask. Good morning, Jessie baby. Good morning. Hey, Lacey. Yes, we've been doing this all through the year. I'm so proud too. Ask. So this November, This is like my watchword, ask. There are things that I want, there are things that I need. And so I'm going to use my 5 W's and 1 H, 5 W's and 1 H to ask. Ask, but ask who? So from everybody here knows I've been running for, I am running for local government chair. The elections we had hoped was going to be in March, then it was April, then it was August, September, then now it's May next year. So all eyes are on the general elections. That's where our focus is. So as it were, between now and March next year, when the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission has said all primaries should be concluded, between now and then, I'm pretty free to work. I haven't worked as much this year because many of the times I was away from work, as it were. But God has been so kind. So there were times in the year different event planners reached out to me and I said, oh, I wasn't available. Oh, I wasn't available because I was doing this, I was doing that. Oh, don't put my name there. By then, I should have been sworn into office, but that hasn't happened. So how are they going to know that I am now available? What? How? I'm going to reach out to them and ask. Tell them, hey, I'm now available between now and early next year. Do you have any events for me? But if I think by some chance that, they will find me, no, let me not ask them. It's like if I go and ask them now, it will look like, then I will be fooling myself, because guess what the biggest brands in the world do to us? They ask us to buy. They ask us to notice them. Coca-Cola is still the most recognizable brand in the world. I think Google is number 2 now. I'm sorry, if you can search it, if you can search for most recognizable brands in the world and see what comes up. I know it used to be Coca-Cola and Google. I don't know that Google ever took over. You would find that they're in our face. Coke has a signboard on every major road in almost every major city in the world. Coke will pair themselves with things that you recognize so that you recognize them. So Coca-Cola will put a bottle of Coke right by pounded yam and egusi soup, or jollof rice and chicken. You know jollof rice, you know pounded yam, now you know Coke. So guess what happens the next time you look at your pounded yam or your jollof rice? You're thinking, where is my Coke? They're asking you to buy. And guess what many of us will do? This food no complete, Coke no day here. Guess what? We will buy. If it makes sense, please write MS in the chat. That's what makes sense. You log into your system and something pops up. The browser pops up. Many times it's Google or it's Microsoft Edge or something. They pop up to ask, like, see me here, use me. Will you use me? I'm here. They pop up without you even prompting. You have to go to settings to unprompt, as it were. If you use an Android phone, Google is right there in your face, asking to be touched, asking to be used, asking to be engaged. Many of these apps right now come pre-installed in devices. You hardly need to download Facebook or Instagram or co. They are already on your phone when you buy the phone. Why? They're asking to be engaged. They are not waiting for you to discover them just in case you decide to forget them. WhatsApp is already on your front screen on your phone when you buy a new phone, when you turn it on. Hardly now do you need to download WhatsApp. It's already asking. Good morning, Madam Chiche. So in this rest of the year, in these last 2 months, how are you going to be seen if you don't ask? Now, asking, based on the examples we've just used of Google and co, asking may not be about just what is said. It's also about where you are found, where you're positioned. It could be about what you are saying. It could also be what you are texting. You might need to today sit down and construct some very straight to the point, sharp shooting messages to send out on your WhatsApp list or on your some broadcast on some platform, to tell people, to remind people of what you do and ask if they need your services this season. If you are waiting to be discovered like I have done before at different times, you might just miss out. And how do we really win then? And then we start New Year resolutions in January and start saying, well, this year I would ask more. Start now. Start 2023 now. That's the idea. It's life. It's about experiences. Start the experience today. Hey, my name is Jessica. I am the CEO, Ebijess Fabrics. What fabrics are you getting for this year end? Hey, your Christmas outfits, your something outfits, this, that outfit. And guess what? If you buy 2 fabrics, you get one this. Yes, we do these things and we see other people do it, but many times we get tired when we may not have gotten the results that we seek. You applied to get into a program, a diploma, a master's, a something, and you were rejected because they said whatever reason they gave. Guess what? Go and fix that reason. Or maybe they said your referee letter was not something. Go back, look for the contact number, call them and say, okay, I saw the email that said my reference letter was not this. Tell me the 2 things I need to do. Tell my referee to do to ensure it's better. They say, oh, okay, fine. Oh, the email wasn't just included and blah, blah, blah. Fantastic. Fix it and apply again. Apply again. Ask again. Ask again. You are short or you are late paying your rent, and your landlord will soon start coming after you. Don't make that mistake of waiting. No, today, go and reach out to the landlord. Either you're going to see her or see him or send a message ahead to ask for what? Either you're asking for more time or you're proposing a payment plan that you know you can keep up to. Yes, I am owing you 500,000. Sir, I know. Ma, I know. I promise you I will complete it in 5 months, in 6 months. Please, if you would allow me pay this amount monthly. If you can allow me pay 100,000 naira monthly for the next 5 months, I would finish paying. Guess what? Many of them really do want their monies. Maybe you've even stayed there a year, 2 years or longer. They just might agree, but guess what? You've not asked. You've been afraid, like many of us. If I go and ask now, one day, children are already in school and you're under a lot of pressure because you've paid ABC and January is coming. But you know that if you are able to bring out this amount every month for 12 months a year, it will give you some relief. Go to the head teacher, headmaster, headmistress, proprietor of the school and sit with them and say, I'm here to ask for some concession. I already know that there might be some difficulty meeting up with the school fees in January. So here is what I've come to ask for. If you will let me pay this amount every month, not every school month, every month, I will be able to offset the school fees, but in installments, in piecemeal. My children are getting so much value here. We will not leave. We will make you proud. You see, this child of mine already got so much better in this and that when we came here. But I also do not ever want to take your expertise for granted. So rather than and get into problems, can we have this agreement for monthly payments? Ask. And in fact, I've gone a step further to write an agreement that I'm ready, and I have signed. I've signed an undertaking to say I will pay. I may not even finish paying at the end of the session, but I will finish paying at the end of the year. This child in your school, or these children, will all be done from your school at this year. And this is what I would have to pay. This is the total sum for the next 3 years. If I paid this every month, in 3 years, I would have paid everything. I might just finish 2 or 3 months after they might have graduated, but I would even give post-dated checks for that time. Wow. And if things improve, I can even pay up before then. Ask. Next year, some people are going to be promoted at your job. You can go now to the head of HR, or go to your boss, go to your line head or something, and say, I would really want to be promoted next year. What 3 things do I need to do to meet up? Guess what? I believe you'll be one of the few people who would ask such a thing, because many times people don't ask, they wait for it to happen. What 3 things will I need to do to be on your top list, to be on the list for employment or of promotion? Yes, I know my appraisal, but boss, tell me, you've been here longer than I have. You've been in the industry, you've been in the company. What 3 things will I need to do? And guess what? The person just might tell you, okay, 3 things that will qualify you for promotion. Number 1, you must be seen. Make sure they see you. Make sure you are visible. Now, this is not in your standard. This might not be in your standard appraisal list to be seen, to be noticed. So ensure that when we're having so and so meetings, you speak up, you do this, you profess solutions. So that way people notice you. That's number 1. Wow. Did you know it before? No. Number 2, in addition to this, ensure you are able to help this person achieve that, or do this. And then you get the solutions that you would have missed. We would miss 100% of the promotions that we may not ask to be a part of. I was just imagining myself there's a program I want to get in on very soon. And the moment I get in, I'm going to the head of faculty, and I would say, I want to graduate as best. I want to leave this program as best graduating student. Tell me 3 things I would need to do to achieve it. I'm not going to leave it to chance and say, oh, well, let's just see how it goes. No, that will increase my chances of missing. Remember, I want to win. So tell me 3 things, sir, or 3 things, ma'am, that I'll need to do to make Dean's List or to make the valedictorian. I want to be that. And they'll say, okay. And guess what? Because I asked, they would somewhat feel like they owe me to help me do it. So if I'm falling behind, that person is likely going to call me and say, Joyce, you had said you wanted to be valedictorian. I just saw your report on this and that. This is not valedictorian work. Go and look at your chapter 1 again. Do this, do that. Bring this up to valedictorian standard. Guess what? If I had not gone to ask in the first place, that lecturer or faculty dean may not ever have thought about calling me up to say, Joyce, your work is below valedictorian status. And that one, I would just coast. And by the end of the program, I would see that I didn't make it. And I'll say, well, the Lord gives and the Lord takes. Now, are we saying that 100% of the time we'll get what we ask for? No. We are saying that 100% of the time we'll miss the things we don't ask for. So increase your chances of winning by asking. Ask what to do. Ask where to go. Ask who to speak to. You already know why you want to win. That's your why. You might ask why you want to win. That's a different story. Why do you want to win? And it's up to you. Your why is your right. I want to win because I want to win. That's simple enough. I want to win because it will increase my self-esteem. I want to win because to prove to me that blah, blah, blah. I want to win because I want to be a good role model to my so. I want to win because whatever your why is your why. You can improve on your why. But when to ask to? When? When should I ask? Today. Ask early enough. Be one of the first to ask. When you're one of the first to ask, it's easier to be remembered than when you are in the crowd of thousands of other people, or hundreds or tens of other people who are asking. Is this making sense to you? If it is, please say makes sense. Almost everything I've gotten this year, I have asked for. There were things that I could have decided not to ask and just hope. Hope is good, but hope is not a plan. Hope doesn't close the doors. Hope doesn't sign the deals. Asking, hope gives you enough strength to get to the table to ask. So we need hope. We need hope. Soothing feeling, we need hope. Then we ask. Soothing hope, soothing feeling, I think we have asked this year, right? Ask. Ask early enough. So I've drawn up a list of people that I'm sending some messages to today. Some people that I met in the last 1 week, and some people I've known before, to say, hey, I'm available to work between now and this. I'm available to train this person between here and here. Are you still available? One of my dear clients had asked me to train someone in his organization at the time in the year that I was not available at all. I'm going to send him a message today. I might even call him and hail him and say, sir, is that person trained yet? If not, when do we start? Because I'm available. I'm available. What? I'm available. I'm available. I'm not going to allow myself say those things that I've said to myself in the past, like, don't ask him. I beg he would have done it by now. That's assumption. Assumption is the mother of all frustration. Because you would assume and say, I know he would have done it. That guy, I know they waste time now. He would have done it. Then you see him in March next year, maybe at the airport, or you see him at some event. And, madam, I didn't know you were available. It was just last week we finally got somebody. Meanwhile, you could have asked since November. But you were there assuming for somebody. Assumption fire. Assumption is a precursor to failure. Assumption increases chances of not winning. So don't assume. See all those things you've assumed already this year concerning the rest of the year. Scatter every assumption and ask. Convert your assumptions to asking. I'm assuming they've already drawn the list for those who they would promote in January. Fire. Tear that list up. I'm assuming that they've already given what? Tear it up. I'm assuming that the way Nigeria is, nobody's going to increase salary. Ask. You may not get, but you increase your chances of getting when you ask. Don't assume. Don't assume for. Let me now ask. I'm sure she already knows that she should. Ask. Ask. We're going to close on this because ask is one of the shortest words in the dictionary with one of the most power, and yet one of the most powerful words in the dictionary. Ask. What? Ask. Like right now, I'm asking you to share this video with someone. Share it on your WhatsApp status, your groups, your stories. You see that arrow, that bent arrow under the video? Click on it, copy the link and share and say, hey, this just blessed me. Share it. Put it up on your status, not only today, put it up for the next 2-3 days. Set a reminder. And guess what? Nancy is there to remind you. She will remind you. She would ask you to remember to share. Please remind your friends to watch the video, because some people, this is really the defining action they would need to take to win the rest of the year. This ask. And so share and let them see. I'm asking you to share. There are even some situations you may have given up on way back when, last year, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago. And you have assumed that it's too late to ask now. If I go and ask now, then won't they look at me as unserious? I should have come back 2 years ago now. Won't they look down on me? You're assuming. You're what? You assume it. Now, there's a guy well, he's been a friend of mine since I was a child. Olaoye, Akin Olaoye, he owns this House of Lunettes, the people who sell premium sunglasses and other glasses in Nigeria, different cities in Nigeria, House of Lunettes. I read a Facebook post by Akin maybe 5-6 years ago, where he was talking about a staff of his who had resigned some months before or a year before and came back to apply for a job in his organization again. And he said he took her back without even thinking. And people thought he was crazy. And he said two things. Number one, if she left me and I know where she went to, I know she went there, it means there's something about our organization that connects with her better. And guess what? If she didn't find it in those, as it were, bigger places, she's going to be more loyal here. Her loyalty would have gone up, would go up a notch, because she's finding in here what she thought she would find in those big places, but we're missing. So I'm going to take her back. Two, if she had the guts to come back, guess what? She would bend over backwards to deliver on almost any task we give her. Not like I'm going to slave drive her, but her loyalty level, her commitment level will be notches up, because she has gone around and she's seen people who are coming back to you. Anybody who is bold enough to come back to you is the kind of person you want to work with you, because they'll be bold enough to do almost anything that is legal or moral. It made sense to me. It still makes sense to me. I never ever reached out months later to ask how that relationship went. I'm assuming that it went well. But regardless, the point is, I liked the rationale if she asked to come back. Then I saw, not too long after that, maybe a year later, I met a gentleman who was a group head in one bank. He was very highly placed already. He was a DGM. And I think in a bank, if you're a deputy general manager, you're quite high in rank. Some people retire. Some people don't even become general managers before they retire. A lot of people retire around general manager. And he had worked with a bank for many years. He left and wanted to come back. And he said, in coming back, someone said to him, you'll be so valued when you come back, because they see that you would have garnered a lot of experience from all the other places you've gone to. They've spent on you on trainings. You grew this much. So when you're coming back, ask for what you really want. They would give it to you, because they want the experience you've gotten. So what he was thinking might be a bad thing turned out to be a fantastic thing. He asked for so much and they gave him everything, because they were like, he's coming with all the experience he has gone to Ghana. And he came back in as an oga. I think he came back with a promotion. He got a promotion in coming in. He was able to negotiate. If I'm coming in, I want to be deputy GM. Where he would have had to become assistant GM first before. Whatever it was, he was able to negotiate up, because he understood the value of, as it were, coming back. And then we remember the prodigal son, as it were, the one we call the prodigal son, who left his father's house in the Bible. This is a proverb that was told, a story that was told. What do we call those stories? A what? Parable. He left, and when he came back, out of shame, he even came back saying to his father, you can make me one of your servants. I don't mind. Just keep me. And his father was like, what? Do you know how happy that I am? How happy I am that you even came back at all? What? Come, take the finest clothes. Let that be in your mind. Let that be in front of your eyes as you prepare to win the rest of your year. That if I go back to ask, I might even get much more than I bargained for. So let's go and ask together. Ask now. Don't put it off till later. Ask now. I thank you so much for staying with me. I'm glad that We are fired up together, and I look forward to hearing the testimonies and testimonials of your asking, because you will get. You have our contact details. You are in the WhatsApp group. Send a message and say, hey, I asked, and see what I got. I would love to see the messages. I would love to see those testimonials going forward from today till next year, till any time that you get the results. I would love to see them, because they're encouragement to me as well. And as I get some of my wins, I would also share, because we'll ask. So as we wrap up, I'm going to let you know something. I know we'll talk about it in the group, but let me just mention it here. I put together a 10-day challenge for 10 minutes of exercise per day. Why? Many of you know I work out a lot. And there are people who always reach out to me and say, hey, I wish I could do this, even if it was for 1 minute, even if it was for 5 minutes. So I put together a 10-day challenge. We call it 10 for 10. 10 minutes for 10 days only, especially for those who have every reason not to exercise. So we've made it short enough, sharp enough, and very easy. The moves are so easy. You can do them even if you have body pains, joint pains, blah, 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 health issues. They're simple movements. We're going to let the world know about it. And it should start on the 11th of August from 11 to 20th. That's 10 days. 10 days every day at 6 a.m. Well, the video, we will go live at 6 a.m. Any time of the day that you are free to, you can do your 10-minute challenge, just because we want to win. And for some of us, we had said this year we would become more active physically. We didn't do it January till now. There's nothing stopping us from doing it in November and going forward. In fact, this is the best time to ask your body to wake up. Wake up and collect your joy, collect your strength, not only collect your money, right? So we're going to share the information about that. And we hope you will join us in the challenge. Tell people around you, especially people who have been complaining, I don't have time. You know them. Oh, I wish. This is for those people to be able to do. If we give them too much work, they'll run away. We just want to make it easy enough, because we will win together. The idea is to win together. I love you, and I wish you God's best. Thank you so much for being with me today. I'm so glad that you are here. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and click on the bell icon to get notifications every time I post a new video, so that you miss out on nothing. See you again. Bye for now.